Hello, hello. How are you all? Hi there, Liz. Oh, you're back from Jerusalem. Wow. Goodness. Well, it's good to have you back, Liz. Hi, Joy. Hi, Piers. How are you all tonight? I hope you've all had a good week and that you've all been playing some fantastic bridge. Welcome along to another lesson. Before we get properly started, I'll just quickly run through a couple of the ways in which you can deal with technical issues if they happen. So if you lose your sound or something like that, something goes wrong, there's a couple of things you can try. Firstly, just give it a few moments, see if it works its way out. Sometimes it's just a wonky internet connection. Secondly, you can refresh your browser tab. That solves so many issues, such as, dropped sound, that kind of thing. So give that a go. Failing that, close the browser tab completely, go back out to your original email invitation and open the link from there again. Now, if those 3 quick win options don't work, then you can definitely reach out to me. So up in the top right-hand corner, there is a LearnBridge Online logo. If you click on that, you can see that it says click here for support. It will come through to me in the background, and you can just type away and let me know what your message is and what your challenge is, and I will come back and try to help you. So, good morning, Beetle. I can see you typing away. How are you? So let's get started with the recording, and then we can invite Jack up. Hi, Kathy, Ross, Angela, Mairead. Hi, how are you? Who else have we got? Angela. Ross, did I say hi to you, Ross? If I've missed anybody, I'm sorry. And hopefully that recording will get started. All right, we're off. Welcome along to another fantastic lesson here at LearnBridge Online. Thank you for joining us. It's all of your participation that makes LearnBridge Online the community that it is, and a wonderful community it is. So that's a warm welcome to everybody who's joining us live. Also, those of you who are joining in replay. Don't forget as well that if you have any questions after the lesson, and that includes people watching the replay, you can leave questions for Jack on the classroom page, and he endeavours to get to those questions and respond either on the classroom page, or he'll bring the question back to the lesson. So speaking of the esteemed Jack Stocken, let's invite him up. Allow me to just find him. All right, everybody, please give a warm welcome for our amazing teacher, Jack. Welcome, Jack.
Morning, Caroline. Well, it's good evening for you. I've just come off the paddle court.
You've just come off, have you? Is paddle? Is that like? Is it like table tennis? Is that what you're talking about?
It's a combination of tennis and squash. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really popular it was really popular in Spain, America, England. It's just gaining popularity in England, but it's good fun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And how did you go?
Me and my partner played very badly, so we lost.
Oh, never mind. There's always bridge to make up for it.
Yeah, I'd like to think he played worse than I did, but the jury's out. So listen, Carol, nice to see you. So we're on with overcalling today. Overcalling one no trump is something we haven't done yet.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's really interesting. One no trump's always, or just no trump in general, is always really interesting when you're first starting out, just trying to get your heads around it, whether it's plain no trumps or overcalling no trumps. So
yeah. I mean, it means 3 different things around the table. It's a different thing if you open one no trump.
Yes.
It's a different meaning if you overcall one no trump. Hang on, let's just get it right. Yeah, like that.
Yes.
And it's a different bid if you respond one no trump. As you know, we're going to look at that in a few weeks' time as well, quite soon. So yeah, it's got a different meaning all around the table. So we're going to look at the overcall today.
Great. Okay. Well, I will be in the background. Don't forget that I'm there if you need me, everybody. Otherwise, enjoy your lesson. I'll see you at the end.
See you on the other side. Here we go. Everyone, a warm welcome if you're watching in replay too. Very much part of our class. And let's get going. So the overcallers, as we know, the 2 players to the left and right of opener. So that's the person who bids positively, 1 club or 1 heart or whatever. And either of them, if they overcall one no trump, it shows a strong hand. Yeah, never 12 to 14. So it's 15 to 19, balanced hand, and a stopper in the opponent's suit. That's a word you might not have come across before. We're going to look at that in just a second. Well, we're going to look at it now. A stopper is a high card in the opening. So it's a technical term in bridge, a stopper, not a wine stopper like the picture there. Those definitely aren't my bottles. They don't have stoppers in. Actually, I tell a lie, they do actually. Only joking. But a stopper, yes, such as ace, king X, queen XX, or jack XXX. So that final example means the opponents could take the ace, king, queen, but then they will concede a trick to your jack. Now, stoppers are very important when you bid one no trump, because otherwise, if you're in 3 no trumps and they lead their suit, they'll take the first 5 or 6 tricks. Yeah, so that's why you need a stopper when you overcall one no trump, or even overcall 2 no trumps. Okay, so armed with our new information. Joy's just wondering what the X means. Joy, an X, good question from Joy. It's a card which is 9 or less, Joy. So it could be a 9, an 8, a 7, a 5, just an insignificant card. A good question from Joy. You will sometimes see X's in bridge diagrams. Okay, so I've opened one heart. You've got 16 points. What would you bid with that as an overcall as south, if anything? Of course, you can't bid 2 clubs because you don't have a 5-card suit. And that's a golden rule. Should we never be broken? And surprisingly enough, the answer is, have you had a go if you're watching in replay? It's one no trump. Probably the least surprising bid of the week. So north and south are overcallers, so perfect for an overcall of one no trump. Showing those 3 things. A balanced hand, 15 to 19 points, and a stopper in hearts. You only need a stopper in the opponent's suit. So here, you wouldn't need a stopper in clubs or diamonds. Yeah, you just need to have a stopper in hearts, which we've got. And there's the balanced hand, of course, playing Jenga. What a great game Jenga was. I was okay at it. Here's another one. 5, 10, 14 points this time. Would you bid anything with this hand as an overcaller south? Would you bid anything if you're watching in replay? There are times in bridge where you just literally can't bid, even with a good hand, 13 or 14 points. So even if you were the world's expert bridge player, the world champion, you would have to pass with that. Yeah, no, one no trump is 15 to 19. That's only 14. You would pass. Only 14 points, so not strong enough for one no trump overcall. You would have opened one no trump, sure. And you haven't got a 5-card suit, so you just have to pass. And there's a man who's not strong enough also to overcall one no trump. I think that's actually a doctored picture. He's called Bob, by the way. He appears in 1 or 2 of our captions. So for next time to remember, that man is called Bob. Well, that's what I've called him anyway. Okay. Let's play our first hand on BBO straight away. Yeah, interesting. Does East open? East has got 15 points. Would you open a heart or a club with that hand? What do you think is best? 1 heart or 1 club? I think we have discussed it a little bit. East is the opener, just to be clear. East is the dealer. Yes, actually, playing bridge, if you've got a 4-card major and a 4-card minor, it's best to open the major first. Yeah, because majors are more important than minors. If they're the same length, yeah. Regardless of suit quality, you might have had, you know, king, queen to 4 clubs and, you know, 4 hearts to the jack. You still open 1 heart. The suit quality is irrelevant when you open the bidding or you respond. And South, what might they do? 16 points. I think you mean responders cards, Mary. Yeah, they generally respond in the cheapest of 4s, but we'll come on to that later. Well, surprise, surprise. Not so hard in the 1 no trump overcalling lesson, is it? So 1 no trump overcall there is perfect. Pass from west, pass from north, and East definitely wouldn't come in again, knowing that South has got 15 to 19 points. So there we go, fairly straightforward auction. And what does West lead to 1 no trump by South? Let's practice the opening lead. It's something we did last week, the defense. Normally it's the 4th highest of the longest and strongest, but there are exceptions. Do you remember the main exception? Let me give you a get out of jail free. There's one major exception when you don't lead the 4th highest. What is it? I'll give you a clue. It's to do with the bidding. Tis, oh dear, Liz, yes. Number of you led a spade or a club. You should be leading partner suit. Yeah. I don't mind if you lead the 8 or the 9. That kind of comes a bit later. But yes, lead a heart. Sequences don't matter when you've got a 9 and the 8. They don't really come into it. Right, so counting certain tricks. Only 2. So we will play low. Winning with the ace of hearts. What do we do next, do you think? Which card from Declarer should we play next? Just waiting for you to think about this. Clearly extras are going to come from diamonds and spades, aren't they? I wouldn't play hearts, actually. No, that's the opponent's suit. Yeah, generally we play... Yeah, which one am I going to play? I think I'm going to play the Queen of Spades. Yeah, why not? They win with the ace, let's say. And they come back a heart. And they clear the heart suit. So good defense. If East gets in again, the 6 of hearts is a winner. Okay, so now we play the 10 of spades. Two of spades to the king. And we might as well take the jack of spades. Starting a club, let's say. Now we play a diamond. Second player play low. Now the queen of diamonds. Won by the ace. East takes their winning heart. Switches to a club, king promising the queen. We win with the ace. And give up the last two tricks to the opposition. So we have just squeezed in with 90 points, 50 for the part score and 40 for the one no trump. So we have just squeezed in with one no trump. They're never an easy contract. If you did a polar bridge players, 95% would say one no trump was their least favorite. But don't be afraid of opening one no trump. No, I'm afraid you always have to open one no trump. It's a very useful bit. Good, so a classic no trump hand going for the extras first. In fact, we made 3 spade tricks there, didn't we? Good. Let's go back to the classroom. How do you respond to an overcall of one no trump? Well, very similar to an opening bit of one no trump. Just the points are different. So in 0 to 6 points, really, there's no chance of game. Opposite 15 to 19. So pass or bid your 5 card suit to rescue. If you've got 7 or 8 points, there is a chance of game. So generally bid 2 no trumps to invite game. Finally, if you've got 9 or more points, bid 3 no trumps, bid straight to game. You know, I mean, partner might only have 15, but a lot of the time they'll have 16, 17. Or you bid to 4 hearts or 4 spades with a 6 card major, knowing of the fit. So those are the 3 options, really. On that last hand, of course, we were 0 to 6, we passed. So, West has opened 1 club, North's overcalled 1 no trump, that's me. What bid would you make now with the south hand? Opposite the 1 no trump, 10 points. If you're watching in replay, what do you think? And really a lot of bridge is about knowing whether you've got enough points for game. The answer is generally yes, no, or maybe. If it's maybe, then we invite game. Well done. So most of the chat box, yeah, I've got a minimum of 15. You've got 10. That's at least 25. We should jump to 3 no trumps. Yeah. If you 2 diamonds would be a very weak bid here, by the way. Partner wouldn't bid again. Now, I'd only bid 2 diamonds if I had between 0 and 6 points, known as the weak takeout. North is in the bar as well. Remember, when they overcall 1 no trump, just like they'd open 1 no trump, they've gone to the bar. There's my bar at the moment, my vodka and orange. Good, so let's look at the answer. It is, 3 no trumps. I would bid 3 no trumps at 9 or more, really. Straight on to our second hand on BBO. We're doing 4 hands today, that's good. I think we're probably up to 4 hands now, playing a fair bit quicker than we did back in the day. 4, 11, 12, it's a 1 club opener. And again, what does North bid, if anything, got 16 points? One no trouble. Let's not waste too much time there. East passes. Now back to South with their 10 points and their 6 card heart suit. What's their best bid, do you think? So there's 2 age-old questions. Have we got enough points for game? The answer is yes. We definitely want to be in game. So we do have to bid it. Because remember, 1 no trump, when you overcall it, you're in the bar as well. And have we got to fit in hearts? 1 or 2 of you made the mistake, and it is a mistake, of bidding 2 hearts. Let's just see what would happen if you made the mistake of bidding 2 hearts. Yeah. North would pass. It's a weak takeout, that 2-heart bid. You'd bid 2 hearts if you had 0 to 6 points, literally 0, at a 5-card suit. You're rescuing partner. But with game points here, just like a partner open one-day trump, you do have to go for it. And you know you've got a fit because North's a balanced hand. They must have at least 2 hearts. Maybe 3 or 4. Maybe even 5. Okay, and what's the opening lead? Bringing into play what we did last week. What's the best lead from West, do you think? Definitely a club, yeah. But which one? The 4th highest is the 8. But do we have a sequence in there? The lead of the king of clubs would promise the queen, by the way. That'd be wrong. Do we have a sequence of clubs? And the answer is yes. So best lead actually here is the jack of clubs promising the 10. Yeah, top of a sequence. Sequence joys two honor cards together, like the king and the queen, say, or the jack and the 10, 2 that are touching. Ace and the king. Yeah, two touching honors, we call them. Okay, so second player play. I'm not going to win just yet. Followed up with a 10. Okie dokie. So, definitely a hand to draw trumps, isn't it? No reason not to. We can't create a void on dummy. Which one do we play now, do you think? I know you can see the East-West cards, but that won't help you here. Just pretend you're just playing at the table. Which heart would we put in? So we started with 10 between us. So missing 3. Is it right to play the ace, or should we finesse? Well, missing 3 hearts, including the king. Yeah, as most of you have said in the live chat box, we should finesse. Yeah, we must play pretending that we can't see the East-West cards. This is what I would do at the table. Playing the ace of hearts is against the odds here. It only works if West started with a singleton king, which is unlikely. So if you're missing 3 or more cards, including the king, then you should finesse. They take their king of clubs. And let's say they wouldn't play a club now. Let's say they play a spade. Which is best defense. Now, interesting. At the table, would you play the ace of spades or would you play the queen? What do you think's best here? So interesting. We've got to make the rest of the tricks. We've lost 3. So we need to make the rest of the tricks. Would you at the table play the ace of spades or the queen? Make up your mind. Remember, you can't see you shouldn't be able to see the East-West cards because they would be hidden. And if you're watching in replay, would you play the ace or the queen? One is right and one is wrong. I think we've had a good little go at that. Just say a few good mornings. Morning, Piers, Merid, who's in Ireland. Ross is in Athens by the sound of it. Carrie, Rosemary, Joy, Beetle, one of our regulars, Noli. Actually, you should play the ace. I'll tell you why in a second. Because you don't need to risk the queen. Because if the queen had lost to the king of spades here, you'd be 1 down. But funnily enough, we don't need the spade finesse here. I'll show you why in a second. As it happens, the spade finesse works, but didn't need to. Where are we? Just drawing out the last trump. Right, which clearly it's right to play a diamond now. If we play a spade, we're going to go one down. But which diamond should we play, do you think, technically? The king or the 9 of diamonds? Which one is right? Well, it's the higher card from the shorter holding. So definitely the king here. Or you could also say top of a doubleton. Look what happens if you play the 9 that a few of you did. Most played the king. If you make the mistake of playing the 9, and then back to the king, you see the suit is blocked. You can't use the queen of diamonds. Well, you can, because you can play the 2 of hearts to the 8 and get to dummy, but often the queen of diamonds would be blocked and you wave bye-bye to it. So let's go back in time. Good habit to get into. The higher card from the shorter holding. Top of a doubleton nearly always when you're leading, either as a defender or as declarer or dummy. Now you play the 9, you see, to the ace. The suit is nicely unblocked. So you can play the queen. But just pause for a second. This is why we didn't need the spade finesse, because the losing spade can go on the diamond. Okay, so there's no need to risk that 50-50 finesse. And the rest are ours, look. They're all trumps. So we'll just claim the last 3 tricks. Yeah, I mean, if you're playing bridge, generally I prefer, especially if you're kind of beginners, improvers, if you've just started, I think it's best to play out all the cards. But clearly here I can just say I've just got trumps left. One thing you mustn't ever do is claim if there's still trumps out. Yeah, you need to draw the trumps first before claiming. And there we go, 420 for 4 hearts just made. Actually 620 because we're vulnerable. 500 for the vulnerable game, those who like scoring. So a triumph for the 1 no trump overcall. Let's go back to the classroom. Okay, let's go back to responding to the 1 no trump overcall. So again, North's overcalled 1 no trump. East has passed. Your South, partner of the 1 no trump overcall. Would you bid anything with that? You got 3 points or not? Your partner's overcalled 1 no trump. Next week, by the way, responding to 1 of a suit. I think that's the 1 no trump response next week. So after next week, we'll have a use for the 1 no trump all the way around the table. We've looked at the opening bid of 1 no trump. Today we've looked at the overcall of 1 no trump. I believe next week we look at what it means if you respond 1 no trump to your partner's opening bid. Morning, Jax. Morning, Liz Newton. Angela. Carrie, of course. Some of you passing. Do you think this hand is going to be any good at all in 1 no trump? The answer is no. So we should do the weak takeout of 2 hearts. Just like, it's the same, everyone, if I opened 1 no trump, with that hand there, you'd bid 2 hearts, weak takeout, rescuing your partner from the fate of 1 no trump. This hand will play so much better in hearts. Because you know your partner's got at least 2 of them. Yeah, they might have 3 or 4. But at least in 2 hearts, you'll be able to use some of those trumps. Called the weak takeout. You're taking partner out of 1 no trump with a weak hand. Good. I know, it goes against the grain to bid with 3 points, but these are one of the few times you could and should bid if partners overcalled 1 no trump or opened 1 no trump. It's one of the very few times where you bid with 0 points in bridge. That's why bridge is a tricky game to learn, of course. There's so many different scenarios. Okay, here's another one for you. You've got 8 points this time. What would be your best bid there over my overcall of 1 no trump with 8? Watching in replay, what do you think? Could be a useful bid for you, this 1 no trump overcall. Morning, Lucy. Joy. Rosemary, they're bidding 2 no trumps. Inviting game. Liz. Yeah. Yeah. So you're all correct. Yeah, it's an invitation saying 7 or 8 points. North will race the game with a maximum 17 to 19. And with a minimum 15 to 16, they'll pass. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you might get to 3 no trumps on 24 points, but it's not the end of the world. And often 3 no trumps will be easier to play because you know that we're starting with all the points. And there's an invitation, look, to a garden party at Buckingham Palace. I'm afraid we missed out, everyone. It was 19th of July, 2011. So yes, invitation there. Let's play hand 3 on BBO. One heart from East, they're the dealer. 12 plus points. And 7, 8, 10, 15, 17 points from South. What do we bid with that hand? One no trump, of course. North, do they do anything? They've got 8 points. And I hear good reports from the BBO, from Shauna, that we've got a lot of you playing online now. If you need Shauna's email address, just let me know. She's in charge of the WhatsApp group. I think they play most days, mainly Thursdays at 2 in the afternoon, Mondays 7 o'clock at night. But if you haven't joined the WhatsApp group, there's always time to join. Doesn't matter if you join now. No, join anytime. For those watching in replay, just email jack@yorkshirebridge.com. I'll just put in my email so you can, if you need to email those who are watching in replay. Actually, even easier is if I just give you Shauna's, for those watching in replay, I'll just give you Shauna's email. Yeah, even easier, rather than giving you mine. So for those wanting to join, this is Shauna's. In charge of WhatsApp group. There you go. So you're bidding 2 no trumps in the chat box. Yes, 7 or 8. Invitation. Oh, hang on. Yes, sorry, that's right. 2 no trumps, yeah. And back to East. Do they accept the invitation with 17? I think many of you are on the WhatsApp group now, but just those watching in replay, definitely try and practice if you can, the most important thing. And as Beetle just says, you play with like-minded people, you're all in the same boat. Yeah, so generally minimum 15, 16 you'd pass, 17 to 19 you should accept the invitation. Granted, sometimes you might only have 24 points, but these hands are easier to play because the 1 no trump hand knows that East has got all the points, and the points are sitting underneath the 1 no trump bid, if you like. The hands are generally easier to play. Right, so that's it. And should we practice opening lead again? Such an important card. Something we'll get better and better at in the coming weeks and months. Which, precisely what card does West lead out of those 13? Well, normally it's fourth highest, but there is an exception. Look, partners opened one heart. We should lead their suit. It's a major exception to no trump leads if partners overcalled or bid a suit, lead their suit. You will find over time that it keeps them in a good mood. Okay, well, counting certain tricks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only. Clearly chances of extras in clubs mainly, followed by spades, and maybe one extra in diamonds. But hearts is a fairly weak suit for us. Right, let's play away. We do have a stopper, 3 to the queen. That is what we call a stopper. Which heart does East play now, though? Third player. Ace, Jack, 10, 8. Which one? If you're watching in a replay, which heart would you play? Well, as third player, play high. And when there's little ones in dummy, it would always be right to play the highest one you've got. Okay, so the ace is right there. Otherwise, you see, if you make the mistake of putting in the jack or the 10, declare wins with the queen. And it's easy peasy. It's easy street from now on. So well done if you rose with the ace of hearts. And which one should East return now? Which heart does East return? I would return the jack, actually. Yeah. Top of a sequence. Interesting. Now, for declarer, would you cover with it? Yeah, try not to look at the opposition cards, but would you honestly cover with the queen of hearts at the table? Or would you play low, known as ducking it? What do you think is best here? To cover with the queen or play low, known as ducking? There's the clue. There's Slam Duck, our mascot. Yeah, the thing is, if you cover with the queen, it's a mistake. Pretty much, why hasn't East played the king of hearts? I think you must be asking that. I think you've got to say to yourself, if East had the king of hearts, they'd have probably played it now, wouldn't they? So almost certainly the king is with West. So there's no point coming. If you make the mistake of covering it, you lose the first 5 tricks. Look, heart comes back. East is careful to overtake the 9 with the 10 of hearts, otherwise the suit is blocked, and you go 1 down before you've even started. So well done if you duck the heart. Look what happens, you see. Makes a big difference. Jack of hearts wins the trick. They come back another heart to the king. But crucially, the suit is blocked. So, We've avoided that pitfall. We're still in the game, but they've switched to a diamond, which is a bit awkward. Which one do we play from dummy? Ace, Jack, or 2? Also, where do we think the king of diamonds is? You can pull up the bidding on BBA. What you do, you can't ask for the bidding in a real live game halfway through, but on BBA, you click 3 no trump south to my left, and there's the bidding, and it will remind you that East opened a heart. So we have to play the ace. We know that East has got the king of diamonds. If we play low, they make their king and take their winning heart. So no, we can't afford to finesse here. Up with the ace. Now we can test the clubs. Pleased to see the queen singleton. So we take our king. Notice how we didn't discard any clubs from dummy, by the way. We kept the gold dust. I discarded a spade earlier. Keep the 5-card suit always. That's your source of tricks. And another winning club. And another winning club. Chucking a diamond. Well, a club even. Following suit. I think East has to get rid of their winning hearts now. Keeping their spades guarded, 3 to the queen. And obviously keeping their king of diamonds. So I think these winning hearts have to go. Over to dummy with the king of spades. Oh, Piers just wants a reminder. Can you remind me how we knew that East had the king of diamonds? It's a good question, Piers. Yes, because I clicked on the 3 no trump south and reminded myself, although I had remembered, that East opened a heart. They must have all the points because West has already shown up with the king of hearts, 3 points. So East must have the remaining points. Otherwise, they wouldn't have 12 to start with, yeah. Slightly more advanced, that. Right, we take our 9 of clubs. Still not quite out of the woods yet. Which spade should we play now? We need to make 2 more tricks. Quite a tricky hand, this one, by the way. It's got some instructive points in it. Ace, Jack, or 10. We need 2 tricks there. Yeah, Jack or 10. Doesn't really matter, Joy. I tend to play the higher card of the 2, the Jack, but it makes no difference. So we have risked the finesse here, but really it wasn't a risk. We're almost certain that East has the queen of spades, because again, East opened the bidding with 1 heart. These are things that will come to you more in the weeks and months, really, slightly more advanced. And also, East hadn't been discarding any spades, had they? They've been discarding hearts. So there are 2 big clues there that East had the queen of spades. Yes, remember, they kept their queen guarded quite correctly. Ace of spades and the 10 of spades. I wouldn't say so, Joy. My memory is not brilliant. I tell you, it's not great. But I think it's just, I've played a lot of bridge over the years. You know, I think really as practice. You imagine how more experienced, Joy, you'd be in like 2 years' time if you keep playing bridge, you know, once a week, twice a week. You know, really experience is the key. And there we go. 10 tricks, everyone. 6:30. Because we're vulnerable. Interesting hand, actually, that one. It would have been quite easy to have gone 1 or 2 down. Right, let's go back to the classroom. And remember how we kept the gold dust there. We didn't discard any clubs, because otherwise we've been throwing a trick away. We discarded the 6 of spades. Right, well, let's look at the overcall of 2 no trumps. It's rare. Doesn't happen much because you need a very strong hand. So to overcall 2 no trumps, it's similar to a 2 no trump opener. You need 20 to 22 points. Balanced hand, of course. and again, a stopper in the opponent's suit, in opener's suit. Yeah, so if they bid clubs, you need to have the ace or the king, etc. Queen XX. You don't, if you open 2 no trumps, you know, that's the opening bid. You don't need to have stoppers in every suit, no. Or if you open 1 no trump, no, that's fine. But if the opponents have opened a suit, you do need to have cover there. Otherwise, they'll take the first 5 or 6 tricks against you. That's the point. But no, if I open 1 no trump or 2 no trumps, that's different. That's purely just the point count and balanced hand. So don't worry about the 2 no trump bid too much. But there it is, look. Yeah, 15 to 19 be 1 no trump. So logically, 2 no trumps here, everyone. 20 to 22. With a spade stopper. Actually, we've got 2 spade stoppers there. The ace and the queen. Let's just go back to the 4th hand on BBO first before we finish off. We are playing much quicker than we did now in October, so we now play 4 set hands, which is what the others play as well. East is the opener, it's 1 spade. Interesting, South. Do you overcall 1 no trump or 2 diamonds? Both are options. Do we overcall 1 no trump or 2 diamonds? Which do you think is best? Yeah, well, I much prefer 1 no trump. Yeah, it's a more descriptive bid, isn't it? With your balanced hand and spade stopper. Over to North with their 10 points. What do they do, if anything? So yes, it is going to be a useful bid for you, this overcall of 1 no trump, or even occasionally 2 no trumps. That's pretty rare. Yeah, with 9 or more points, I would just raise to game on the North. And we've got 10 points here, so it's an easy raise to 3 no trumps. Good. And which card is the opening lead? It's good that we're practicing the opening lead today, having done the lesson last week against no trumps. Which is the opening lead? Be precise. There's 13 to choose from. Good. I think we've definitely learned something or reinforced something this morning, that it's best to lead partner's suit in no trumps. But just a little thing, good habit to get into, it's the top of a doubleton, high-low. This will send a signal to your partner. Okay, so never play too quickly at trick 1. This is time for planning, actually, even though you know what card you're going to play from dummy. So certain tricks, 4, 5, 6, I'd say. 4 heart winners, ace of spades, ace of diamonds. Clearly, extras are coming from diamonds, aren't they? Look how strong those diamonds are. We're only missing the king. On a good day, we should make all 5 diamond tricks. Well, I'm going to put the jack on there. Interesting now. We've got a choice. Should we win the ace of spades, or should we duck it? Ducking would be, playing the 5, letting the opponents win it. That's what ducking means. We've done a little bit of ducking in the last few weeks, but there will be a lesson coming on at some point. But would you win the ace of spades here? Would you duck it? We have done a little bit on this before. but there will be a lesson coming up on it at some point. Fortunately, we only have 1 hour each week, so there's only so much we can do. And one thing I don't want to do is cram the lesson with too much. 1 hour is actually not very long in the grand scheme of things. Well done. Yes, the chat box. Most of you are ducking it. There's the clue look. Any excuse to give slam, duck, and airing. Yeah, I would definitely, yeah. It's nearly always right in these situations at the beginning of a hand in no trumps to let them have the first trick. Yeah. Good. So they would continue with the king. Don't want the 9 to win. And would we duck again? Hi, Kathy. Oh, Kathy Lorna. Kathy Lorna's got 2 names. Which one do you use? Yes, fair enough to take it. Actually, to be honest with you, I think I would duck it a second time. Can't do any harm. Do you know what ducking twice is known as? Oh, it's Kathy. Anyone know what ducking twice is known as in the bridge terminology? Well, in the jack, stock, and bridge terminology. Quack, quack. Well done, Joy. Yes. So ducking twice is known as quack, quack. Now, this is going to be tricky. So we don't want to rush it, but we do need to get the diamonds going. But the only problem here is that we can't afford to lose the lead. Can we? If we lose the lead to East, they're going to take 3 spade winners and defeat us by 1 or 2 tricks. So we have got to be careful. What we've got to work out between us, because it's a joint effort, you and me, is where we want to play the diamonds from. Do we want to be playing them from our own hand? Yeah, play the ace, the queen, the 10. Or would we rather be playing the diamonds from the dummy? That is the $1 million question. But I don't have $1 million right now. If I don't full stop, but there's a pound, look. So which card specifically do we play from our own hand? Now, given those clues I've just relayed to you. If you're watching in replay, this is quite tricky. The pressure is on. We cannot afford to lose the lead. Morning, Jax. Oh, it's got the same name as me, but it's a plural. Jax, short for Jacqueline, I would have thought. I'm no expert on names. Nearly everyone in the chat box is playing the Queen of Hearts. Okay, well, I'm not saying that's right or that's wrong. But what would we do from dummy now? Well, we would overtake with the king, of course. But now we've got a blockage situation whereby we're never going to make the Jack of Hearts. Yeah, because dummy is literally, we're in dummy for the last time. So what I would have preferred you to have done, rather than playing the Queen of Hearts, play the Ace of Hearts first. Very well done if you got that right on replay, because most of the chat box played the Queen of Hearts. Because otherwise we're going to have a blockage situation. So remember, the higher card from the shorter holding. Now we play the Queen, overtaking with the King. Probably, yeah, they hang on to their spades because their spades are winners. Right. What do we do next from the dummy? We've just won the King of Hearts. Cleverly overtaken it. If you're watching in replay, what do you think? Would you play diamonds now or hearts? That's the choice. Clearly, clubs is the danger suit. Again, we know that these hands are easier to play because we know East has all the points. They opened one spade. Very good idea to play the Jack of Hearts. Yes, well done, chat box, most of you. Because this is your last time in dummy. If you don't play it now, you'll never make it. Remember, big mistake to throw a diamond. We're keeping our gold dust. Okay, good. Well done for cashing the Jack of Hearts. Now we need to return to diamonds. Well, return. We haven't even been to diamonds yet. But which one would you play from the dummy? Give you the choice. You either play the 4 of diamonds or the Jack. Which one is best? And just a reminder that on this hand, we definitely wanted to go to dummy to play diamonds. If we'd have played diamonds out of our own hand, we'd have lost to the king and been 1 or 2 down. So it's really important. Remember, nearly all finesses are playing your low cards towards the high honor cards, ace, queen, or king, or whatever. Well, well done, chat box. It's really important to play the Jack of Diamonds here. Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because we've got a couple of minutes. If you made the mistake of playing a small diamond, look what would happen. Second player play low, and you would finesse, say, to the 10. But now, you've got no way back to the dummy. You'd have to play the ace, lose a trick to the king, and you'd lose, yeah, you're about at least 2 down. So let's go back in time. Very well done for playing the Jack of Diamonds. Second player played low, they probably would. We let it run. And now another diamond. Whichever. Queen, 10-9, doesn't matter. A second winning diamond finesse. Now we cash the ace. Filling the king of diamonds. 10 of diamonds is a master. We're now on easy street. We give up the last 2 tricks, but we have just made our contract. So we've finished on a high run. Well done, well played. It was a joint effort. A hard-earned 400 for 3 no trumps there. So a couple of interesting things. Ducking the spade was good technique there with the ace. Don't duck at other times, only on the opening lead in no trumps, by the way. Don't get too giddy. And well done for playing the ace of hearts, followed by the queen. Yeah, overtaking with the king. And then also well done for playing the Jack of Diamonds, not the 4. So there's lots of pitfalls in that hand where we could have gone wrong and it would have led to defeat. So it was a tricky hand to play, but nonetheless, an instructive one there. But quite hard, I think. You know, if you didn't get everything right there, don't worry. But I think that really the key factor there was that we had to play the diamonds from the dummy. Yeah, not from our own hand. Right, well, just time to go back to the classroom to remind yourself that an overcall of 1 no trump is 15 to 19. I think that's in the system. Balanced hand of the stopper. Secondly, bid 3 no trumps in response to 1 no trump overcall with 9 or more points. And finally, very rare, but it sometimes happens, if ever you overcall 2 no trumps, that would be 20 to 22 points. But that is quite rare. Otherwise, it's 10:28 UK time. We're finished for the week. Hi, Caroline.
It's always a very, very good hand if you can overcall 2 no trumps.
Yes, yeah. It doesn't happen very often, does it?
No, exactly. The one thing I remember with my one no trump when I was learning a one no trump overcall is I would forget sometimes about needing to have that stopper in the suit that
Yes.
was called.
Yeah.
It's so important, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be a new word for some of the students today, Caroline. Stopper. I have actually got a stopper over there. I can just see it in my wine, my wine bottle. But yeah, it's a useful term. That you're an ace, king X, queen XX, just something that stops the run of the suit. So it's
Yes.
a new word for some of them today.
And that was the other one that came up today, actually, that use of the X, because I remember, and it's one of the advantages of LearnBridge Online and being able to listen to experts like yourself actually talking about bridge,
Yes.
is when you're just kind of maybe learning online, or, you know, and you're not doing lessons like this, you don't know what the X is. And I remember the first time going, what is an X? Why do they keep on talking about an X?
Oh,
You know,
right.
yeah. Yeah. So that was a great question that I think was it
Really good question. I think it was from Joy asking what the X actually was. Yes, and as you said, it's a spot card. It's basically an insignificant card of 9 or less.
Yeah.
All
right.
Well, Mary is saying, thanks, Jack. Think I'm going backwards. So, Mary, actually, when you learn bridge, it will be a roller coaster, won't it, Caroline? There'll be ups and downs, and sometimes you'll feel you're going backwards. You're swimming against the tide, and other times you'll think you're going great. You're going with the tide, and all's kind of going swimmingly well. Same for you, Ross. Yeah, it's normal, I think, when you're learning bridge, even if you've been learning for a year or two. I know some players who go through periods of ups and downs of playing well and not playing so well. It kind of depends on your mind.
I've been feeling like that lately. I've been feeling like that lately. And what I've found is that it often goes hand in hand with when I'm learning the most. And it just kind of, it gets, as I'm getting lots of input coming in, it just gets a little bit muddled. And then, after you give it just a bit of time to kind of percolate and then sink through, you jump out the other side, and all of a sudden there's a sense of clarity.
Oh, definitely.
Until there's not again. There's not again. Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much to learn. And, none of us are under any kind of, anything, bridge is a tricky game to learn. But, the thing is, we are having fun as we do it. Remember, it's always a game. We are going to forget some things sometimes. We are going to make mistakes. It's the only way you learn in bridge, actually, is by making mistakes, learning from them. This is why these online classes are so useful, because they're fully interactive.
Yeah.
If I was teaching a face-to-face class, which I used to do before lockdown, no one would ever put up their hand and say, "Oh yes, the answer is 2 spades," or
No, it's
because
such a great format.
Embarrassed to do that. So I would never ever ask any questions in a classroom like that, because no one would put their hand up. It's quite simple. But here you can go into the chat box, put in an answer. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong, and all that. So that's a really, really useful way of learning the online. You are a brave lot, Ros, correct? Well, listen, I better put the cup of tea on, because my improver class is at 11 o'clock.
I know. I'm going to jump in and grab a cup of coffee to stay awake and listen in on that one, because that's on losing trick count, isn't it?
Yeah, quite difficult losing trick count. Yes, and it's something really that they learn after about a year or two. It's one of the hardest things I teach, the losing trick count. So we've got that at 11. And then, Caroline, next week, interestingly enough, it's responding to one of suit for this class. I think we'll be introducing the one no trump dustbin bid as well.
Oh, great. Yeah, the toolkit of bids is really growing now, isn't it?
Sorry,
the toolkit.
Yeah, the toolkit. Yeah, the toolkit's getting bigger by the day. They're getting more tools in there, so there'll be less bidding situations that they're unsure to do. And we've also got coming up actually in a few weeks' time a very, very useful bid, the takeout double.
Double, yes.
Yeah, that's coming up quite soon.
About that one.
That's a really useful bid, quite a tricky one. Well, thank you, Joy. I will enjoy my tea. I think I'll be having what will I be having, Joy? Probably a chamomile.
Good plan. Good plan.
Or I have the ginger and lemon, I think.
Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah.
I like those herbal teas now.
Yeah.
I don't do caffeine, Caroline. Caffeine doesn't agree with me.
I've just been doing a little bit of caffeine lately, but I actually didn't have it for probably about 5 years.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do notice the difference. It's better when you don't, to be honest.
Listen, Caroline, I'm going to say goodbye.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for joining us as well. Thank you, Jack. Thank you to Jack's mum, of course. Not sure if you're with us today, but if you're not, we thank you anyway. And we will see everybody same time, same place next week. Thank you for joining us.
I look forward to it. Have a good week, everyone.
You too. Take
Bye
care,
for
everyone.
now.